All right, to Washington now, where the first day of the hearings for the president's Supreme Court nominee started with a fair amount of drama. Our Washington Bureau reporter Kevin Fry is there today watching all of this unfold. Kevin, quite the sparks. What started it all?
Well, can you say chaos, Tim? That seems to be all of it. Really, at the end of the day, Democrats at this point want to have access to more documents. They say that they want to know more about Brett Kavanaugh's time working in the White House as a staff secretary, among other positions, just to get a better sense of his mindset. Some Republicans call that a stall tactic. And on top of all of this, if that's not enough to really get the things going, there were 70 protesters that the police had to bring out of the committee room today as they continue to interrupt proceedings throughout the course of the day. Lots of hotly contested issues here when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh and really the public perception of him. At the end of the day, though, again, going back to those documents, this is how things started off. For an hour to an hour and a half, Senate Democrats constantly interrupting Chuck Grassley, who is the chairman of this committee. Here's a little sample of that. Take a listen.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be recognized to ask a question before we proceed. The committee received just last night, less than 15 hours ago, 42,000 pages of documents that we have not had an opportunity to review or read or analyze.
You're out of order. I'll proceed.
We cannot possibly move forward, Mr. Chairman,
I
with this
extend
hearing.
a very warm welcome
we have not
to
been
Judge
given
Kavanaugh,
an opportunity to have a meaningful
his wife,
hearing on
Ashley.
this nominee.
And that's how things went for about an hour and a half. Now, at the same time, Senate Republicans got to weigh in throughout the course of a very long day of introductory remarks, including from Senator Tom Tillis, who basically said this is simply a stall tactic on the part of the Democrats. They are not going to vote for him regardless. Here's what he had to say.
For the documents that got sent yesterday, you could get through it in a matter of hours. They have plenty of time to get documents that they only need to run up the score because they already know they're going to vote against you.
So just your average quiet day here on the Hill, Tim.
Kevin, what are we expecting of the days ahead? Is it somewhat more of the same? And regardless of all these fireworks, I guess, in D.C., the vote, we pretty much know what's going to happen, right?
Right. At the end of the day, the Republicans have enough votes to get him through if they all stick together. And there's also news out of Arizona today that John Kyle will be coming up here to at least temporarily fill the seat of Senator John McCain, which would put another check in the Kavanaugh column in terms of getting him confirmed. Expect over the next few days that there'll be a lot of questions. They start to open up to questions for each of the lawmakers, getting a chance to ask Kavanaugh various things about his history, about what he sees as his view as the judicial bench and what they should be doing. Especially from the Democrats, you'll hear a lot about Roe v. Wade, whether or not he thinks that abortion should be legal and whether or not it's settled law. And then also a question stemming from the ongoing Mueller probe as to whether or not he believes that, for instance, a president could be indicted, that a president could be convicted or subpoenaed. And that will really be very important for these Democrats in particular, who believe that if the Mueller probe advances and there's some sort of charges against the president or something should proceed against the president, that would likely come up to the Supreme Court. And at the end of the day, they don't believe that Kavanaugh, a person promoted by the president, should have a chance to weigh in on that sort of proceeding. Tim?
Kevin Fry staying on top of the action on Capitol Hill. Thank you, sir.